Truman Lake Fishing Report. It is August 13th. This is brought to you by M&S Electric and Mark Hughey's Guide Service at Truman Lake. I'm Ryan, and of course, like always, we have the man with us, Mark. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy.
Good.
You?
Doing good. I mean, it is crazy hot outside. If you've been out there fishing, you know more than anybody on that water. I'm sure you're jumping in to cool off every 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely been warm. We've been hitting it early and trying to get off the water by noon or so because it's usually by noon it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Well, let's jump into it. If the fish aren't boiled dead, what are they doing?
The bite has been good. Still kind of doing the same thing, fishing. I'm fishing anywhere, trying to stay anywhere from about 12 foot of water down, lower or higher, 12 foot to about 3.5 foot of water. Um, in the deeper water, some of the fish are a little bit, oh, they're still not up super high, but they're not right on the bottom. When the shallower you get, the more that they are right on the mud. And a lot of these stumps that I'm looking at in 3.5 to 4.5, 5 foot of water, you don't really see the fish. It's more of a, you see a little bit of movement on the bottom, and it just drop down there around them, and they'll shoot right up out of the mud. They're ready for minnow because they're all eating pretty good. They're all full, got a lot of shad in them. Smell horrible cleaning them, but they are eating. The bite's been pretty good. I haven't. I've looked at a couple of deep water trees, 20 to 30 foot, and there's some fish on them down in that 12 to 14 foot range. A lot more little fish there, that are deeper, seems like. But yeah, if you stay in anywhere from 3.5 foot of water to 9 foot of water, and they've been kind of on uh, more rows of hedges and pole timber than than piled into the cedars. There are some in the cedars. Fish do a lot more little ones out of the cedars than the fish on the tree rows and the hedges and the pole timber. Um, not seeing a lot of fish around these trees, but we fished the other day. Pretty much every little stob that we went to. I mean, it didn't have to be much bigger than a limb, a twig sticking up off the bottom, and it'd have a fish on it. So just hit every one of them. I mean, if you like I say, if you see any movement down around the bottom of them, drop a minnow down there. There's probably a fish there.
Okay, there you go. So check your depth and don't be afraid to put it down there in the mud.
Oh yeah, because that's where a lot of them are laying, especially early in the morning, not so much. But once the sun gets up by 8:30, 9 o'clock, the sun's up pretty high. Them fish are, a lot of them are down low and their nose right up to the tree.
Okay, there we go. And then you're catching them on brush busters and some jigs.
Brush busters, tipped with a minnow, and dropping these urchin baits down on a few of them. I talked about the living the dream last week.
Yep.
Getting a few on those, and I've got that I mentioned, the new slot limit gumballs in. Kind of the same. It's an urchin bait. They're a little bit bigger. They're a 2.5 inch bait with about a 1/2 inch to 5/8 inch ball on them. Um, haven't tried these out yet. I just got them in the mail. Um, we'll be using these probably tomorrow or the next day, trying them out, see what we can come up with them. And they've got 5 different colors in them. There's a blue cheese, and then this is slot limit gray. This one here is black and chartreuse. and then Bayou Bearbot, and then this one is a green goblin.
Nice.
So, and it's a good looking bait. They're not super big. They're a little bit bigger than the other ones, but still a pretty small, good sized crappie bait. So
I would think with all those little tentacles and stuff in the water, it should be a pretty good action on them. Probably doesn't take hardly any movement to get them to kind of flutter.
no, no, and that's another thing with the crappie bite right now. They are not wanting it moving.
Okay.
Put it down there and dead stick it. Maybe give it just a little bit of lift, but the like you would normally do with a jig. A lot of guys, want to jig it and move it up and down a lot. That's for me. That has not been the case. They do not like that. If you see a roamer, or one that's just up off the bottom, you definitely don't want to drop it below him and come up underneath him. You can kind of cantilever it, let it swing right across the top of them, and they'll turn and come out and get it. But that swinging motion, or just put it down there in front of them and let them come to it, has been the ticket for me.
Cool. All right. Well, let's look forward to see how those baits work out. We'll talk about that next week. They look good. Thanks for living the dream, for supporting Mark and sending those baits. Excited to see how they do. Um,
And the slot limit. These ones here are
I'm
slot
sorry.
limit.
Slot limit. My apologies. Slot limit. Thank you. Um, cool. Catfish. What have you been out on a catfish trip?
Yep, I was out catfishing the other day. The bite was good. I mean, it was fair for what we had. We had a completely slick water day. I mean, there was not even a ripple. So we went out and anchor fished had the boat mainly in 4 to 5 foot of water, fishing up to nothing and out to about 7 or 8 foot deep. Um, not not any. We didn't find any big groups of fish, but just you get on some of these shallow flats and they're just kind of scattered everywhere. So, I mean, we had we had 2 fish on within, I don't know, didn't even have all the poles out yet. So when we had one going down, but yeah, it wasn't bad. Just stayed on the move. I mean, we with no wind, we casted them out. We give them a little longer in each spot to get that scent of the shad out. Get it kind of roaming in the water a little bit. But it was decent. We only fished we fished maybe 4 or 5 sets and had a pretty good mess of them. So,
Okay, nice. And then are you using those DNS catfish rigs to get them up off the water?
I did not this last trip because there was no wind, no current. So those I'm going to put some spinners on some of them.
Mhm.
They seem to work really good in current, and if there's some wind, to get it moving. It was the day that we catfished it. Just we had. I told my guys it was going to be tough because, I mean, it was a beautiful day for crappie fishing. I mean, you wouldn't have had to hardly hit the trolling motor at all to stay on fish, but there was not a ripple on the water, and that's no wind, bluebird skies. That's not a recipe for great catfishing, but it still turned out all right. We was able to get quite a few.
Okay. Well, there we go. Well, if you're going out this weekend, be safe, wear sunscreen, wear a lot of sunscreen. And Mark, do you have anything else before we get off here? Availability?
I've got a few days left in August. I've got a handful of days in September. October, November, I've got some afternoons open. I don't think I have any mornings left in October or November. And then I've still got some some days, some mornings and afternoons in December for the creek bite or catfishing. The catfishing bite will be really good in December as well.
Okay, there you go. Get a hold of Mark, get on the calendar. That fishing up the creek is a lot of fun. If you've never done it, I mean, it's a great way to learn and go out with Mark and do that. And yeah, I mean, when it's hot like this, we can't wait to fish in December.
Yeah.
But so cool. All right. Well, hope everybody stays safe out there, and we'll catch y'all next time.